Okay guys, I'm doing something I'm not normally showing on my videos, but I'm in a 2008 Lincoln MKZ. You're probably thinking to yourself, this guy's in a Lincoln MKZ, or this is not a Chevrolet or GM product. No, it's not. I've had this car several years. As you can see, it's got 79,461 miles on it. It's a good car. It doesn't have many miles on it for the age. This is a 2008 MKZ. Runs like a top. But for the longest time, if you've been a really long time subscriber to my channel, you know what I'm about to say. But I'll tell you in case you're a new person to my channel, I had problems. There was a recall on the airbag on the passenger side from Lakota, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it was on the major news networks and all that stuff, Kata or something like that. Anyway, they supplied a whole bunch of airbags to automobiles and trucks. Well, this one had a recall because it would just blow up for no apparent reason. So I didn't have the car very long, and wound up having to keep it parked. Well, I waited for way over a year, to the point that I called Lincoln several times and told them this is a bunch of, this is not right. So after a couple of phone calls and all this stuff, anyway, make a long story short, they wound up letting me drive a Lincoln MKZ. MKZ, it's like an SUV. Four-wheel drive vehicle, is brand new, 2018. And I've even got it on some of my videos. If you go back far enough, you'll see it. And it's a really nice vehicle. But anyway, I finally got the airbag resolved. It's a long story. They wanted me to drive my car that I paid for. I'm gonna let this warm up. I hadn't started this thing in so long, probably a couple of months. I'm going to ease it out here and let it run for just a minute without hitting anything in the garage. I'll let it sit out here for just a minute. This will be good for it. Anyway, getting back to my story on this car. My wife and I went to the rod run one year, and I forgot how it come about, but we still got the floor mats in it from when we bought the car. We traded in y'all's going to laugh at me and all this, but we traded in a 2001 Mustang GT. I know you're thinking Mustang GT, but that's okay. It was a really good car. My wife and I seen it at the rod run in Pigeon Forge. And my wife, I know y'all probably don't know this, but my wife's favorite color is blue. Well, she's seen this Mustang GT. I don't know how I forgot if we sold anything up there at the rod run or not. But anyway, make a long story short, we wound up buying that Mustang GT at the rod run. Drove it home. We had it for several years. And a good car. The thing that I did not like about the Mustang GT, when you get up in age like I am, I'm 63. When you get up in age like I am, you realize a 5-speed is not really a good thing to drive if you're planning on going on a trip or something, because I've got bad knees, and so that's not a really good thing. My wife drove the car more than I did, but anyway, we got to talking about maybe we ought to trade it in. Now this Mustang GT was beautiful. I mean, it was a knockout. There wasn't a rip, there wasn't a tear, there wasn't nothing. Run really good. So we traded it in at a local car dealership here in my town, and we seen this sitting on the lot. So we traded and got this, and I called the man that owned this car before I bought it and asked him why he traded it in, and he was in his 70s, and he told me that the car was getting to the point, it's getting too hard for him to get in and out of it. I think he was like 79, something like that. But He was an older gentleman, and he was really nice, told me up front, said there was nothing wrong with this car. So, we wound up trading, and I really do like the car. As I said, there was a long time that we did not drive this car because of the airbag situation, but we finally got that resolved. But as you can see, I mean, I'm not bragging on my stuff, don't get me wrong, but I try to take care of my stuff because it's too hard to work for, if that makes any sense. I hated going to my work. I just about soon be beat with a stick as to have to go into my work at my job. And it's sad when you get at that point. And I got to say, it's mostly management. But anyway, that's beside the point. I try to take care of everything best I can. I keep it in the garage. It don't stay out in the rain. And I keep a car cover on it, keep a battery tender on it. That's why the hood is popped. And try to take care of stuff because my wife and I both work too hard to let stuff just, look like crap before you can get it paid for. So we got this thing, and anyway, Lincoln wanted us to drive it to the car dealership and get that MKZ SUV to drive until they could come up with a replacement for my airbag. And so I was all good with that. I said, can you keep the car inside? And they said, no, it's going to sit outside. And I said, I told them, I said, sir, I said, this car is garage kept. I said, there's no bird poop on it. There's no rain. There's no snow. There's nothing on this car. I said, it's nearly perfect. And so after some arguing about that, I had to sign some papers saying they took my mileage down on the speedometer, and I told them where I lived. And I had to sign some papers saying I would not drive this car until they told me to drive it back to the dealership, which was in another town. So I did. They finally succeeded in telling them that something I have worked so hard for, I'm not letting it sit outside for hail damage, rain, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so I finally got that fixed. Now I seen on the news a week or two ago that they've got another recall on this. I think it's on this car. They said I would know by January 13th. I should receive a letter on that day or before or whatever. But it's about the brake system or something about the brakes. Something happens, and when you go to mash your brakes don't work. So, I mean, my goodness, it's one thing after another. So that's why it has so low miles and garage kept. And as I said, we don't get it out in the rain. We don't get it out in anything such as that. So trying to take care of it. It's what my wife and I are calling our traveling car. If we ever get to go somewhere, we're going to go in this. And, that's what we bought it for. But it just seems like every time I turn around, there's some kind of recall. And, I know it's a '08, but to me it still looks good. It's, it looks really good. As I said, never mind the dust and stuff. Even with a car cover, it gets dusty sitting in the garage. And I haven't started this thing in probably a couple of months, maybe longer than that. So, anyway, I just thought I'd tell you what's going on with this car. If you didn't know I had it, yes, I've had it for, I've had it a few years now, but we don't get to drive it much, and the biggest majority of the time is because there's a dang recall on something. And I bet it took a year and a half, maybe longer than that, before I could even, maybe 2 years before it's been a struggle. But I really love the car. It's a good little old car. It's good on gas, and it's not perfect, but to me, it's just about perfect. If I can figure out how to open this hood, oh, there it is. But as I said, I try to keep it just as clean as I can, and it's just as quiet. Man, that hood's heavy. But it's a real good car, as far as I know. As far as I know. But anyway, I really like it. My wife likes it, and we enjoy riding in it when we get to. But as I said, I don't drive it in the rain, salt, nothing like that. It's just, believe me, it's just dusty. It would clean up looks really nice if I took a rag and got the dust off, but it's such a pretty day, I thought I'd get it out and let it run for just a few minutes and see where we go from there. I'm kind of waiting on my friends at the auto parts store right now. They've ordered, somehow I have wound up with the wrong parts for that 71 C10 truck at Tim Dixon's, the one we call Big Turd. This makes day 2 of getting the wrong parts. So I don't know what's up with that. So I told my wife to call them, just tell them to order every part that they got, and I'll bring back the ones they won't use, because Tim lives so far out that I don't want to keep going back and forth and back and forth. And I know Tim needs his garage space, so I'm trying not to. Tim's a pretty good guy, and I got an adventure coming up tomorrow, so I'll be filming it. I don't know when I'll get to post it, but I will film it and show you what's going on there. But as I said, when with Tim and I and Corey, we just kind of trade out jobs. I mean, yeah, I'm going to owe him some money, but I do my best to try to trade out with him as much as I can, and he has me do work for him and this, that, and the other. So it all works out good. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you this. Got sidetracked. I apologize. Just thought I would show you our 2008 Lincoln. If you didn't know we had it, yeah, we got it. So I'm hoping really hard, and I hope that you'll pray with me that maybe they don't send me a recall on the brake system. It's some kind of little, best I can understand on the worldwide news, it's some kind of little valve or something that sticks or whatever, which causes you not to have brakes. So imagine that. And I know, some of y'all are saying, oh, you should have got a Chevy. Well, Chevy has problems too. They all do. They got so much stuff on them now, electronic stuff and this, that, and other. I mean, there's hardly any way to avoid not getting something sooner or later. It's going to cause problems. But I guess I'm just going to keep this and we'll go from there. Please like, subscribe, give me a big old comment, thumbs up, and let me know what you think about this 2008 Lincoln. And I'll catch you next video. I'll see you later.